Hello, everyone. Welcome to Team Analysis on Chelsea Perspective. And today I have some great lineup for you. I have Dylan from CFC DP and also have Josh CFC. Great minds, people that know the club very well. So today we're going to take some time and look at the lineup and see what we have out there and how we think they can perform or whether Tuchel should have, selected different players altogether. So, Josh, first of all, welcome to Chelsea Perspective.
Yeah, man, it's great to be here. I know we've chatted on some other streams before. It's the first time joining you on your stream, so yeah, I appreciate you having me, man. Thank you.
Awesome. I appreciate you finding time to be here. It's an honor for me. It's never easy. I know we're all busy. Dylan, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective, brother.
Coachella, my man. Thanks for always coming on here. No worries.
Great. And I heard you're giving away, before we get started, Dylan, I heard you're giving away a signed, an autographed Mason Mount picture.
Yep. So I have a Twitch channel that I just started where I'm going to be doing a lot of like live streaming during the games and whatnot. So yes. I wanted to grow that a little bit. It's CFCDP on Twitch. If you go to my Twitter channel or my Twitter page, you can see the link there and figure out how to enter. So yeah. Signed Mason Mount. You even got Tammy in the photo. So, if you want to go ahead and enter into that, we would love to see it.
Awesome. My brother Zavi, welcome to Chelsea Perspective. It's an honor to have you around.
Yeah, it was good, boys. I forgot I had this meeting today, so I can only jump on for 15. Can I see I didn't get to even see the lineup because I have to. I would have joined, but I had to demo something for work, so. I only joined for 15. Can I see the lineup again? Do you guys have it? I'm not by my phone right now.
It's 3-4-3.
No worries. The good thing is that you found time to be here. So, Dylan, starting with you, what do you think about the lineup overall? Do you think we have enough personnel that is good enough personnel on the pitch to get us a result today?
Yeah, I mean, I think Tuchel decided to go with a really strong lineup today. I think he kind of means no business, or he wants to be all business when he gets into the Champions League games. Back three: Christensen, Thiago, Rudiger, Mendy in goal. Wing backs: Alonso, Azpillicueta, Jorginho, and Loftus-Cheek in the middle, and then the same front three that we had against Newcastle: Havertz, Ziyech, and Hudson-Odoi. So a very strong lineup indeed. And I think Tuchel says, all right, let's get this game won early, and then we can start putting some subs in and whatnot. Because you don't want it. It's at Malmo. This is the first time that they've had a full capacity crowd in over 2 years. So it's not going to be necessarily how it was at Stamford Bridge. I think they're going to be hyped for the game, and I think they're going to be really flying around for that first 20, 30 minutes. So if we can take a quick and easy lead, then we can start just putting some of the subs and whatnot. And plus also you have the international break coming up. So, using players in back-to-back games against Malmo and then Burnley on the weekend may not be the worst idea.
Yeah, I mean, great argument right there. But if you ask me, I'd say it's a bit defensive for me because why have Christensen on the pitch? I know sometimes he can drive forward with the ball, but why have Azpillicueta as a right wing back when you have Christensen at the back? So I don't know why we're concerned that the way they're gonna attack us or something. To me, it's a bit defensive for me. How about you, Josh? What do you think about the lineup? Do you think it's a good enough lineup to get out a result today, or would you have done anything differently?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I think it's a fairly strong lineup. You're right that the Azby Christensen pair is a little weird. The only thing I could chalk that up to is Azby hasn't played in a few games, so maybe he's just trying to get some minutes on his legs. I mean, I would have probably made some rotation if it was me. I understand why Tuchel wants the 3 points here. But for me, I can also see this, we play Burnley at the weekend. To me, that's a very important 3 points to get. I think you'd want to be as fresh as possible for that Burnley game. But like you said, it's the international break right after that. So asking these guys to play, 2 games is not the worst. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say. I mean, we're a little thin of the attack right now, so I think those 3 guys had to play. I maybe would have put Chalobah in on the right side. That may have been one of the only other changes I made, and let Thiago have a rest game here. But yeah, I mean, I like the lineup. I think I'm really anxious to see Jorginho and Loftus in the pivot. I think that honestly, I love Kovacic, but I think Loftus and George could be our best pivot. If you just, for me personally, I love Loftus-Cheek. I think that he's such a dynamic player. He offers so much. I know Javi is a big fan too, but yeah, I mean, I'm anxious to see how the two of them play together, because I don't know if we've seen them actually have like a full go at it with the two of them. I think we saw it in the second half of Newcastle, and it looked very good. So aside from that, yeah, I mean, Alonso is always kind of hit or miss for me personally. But it's good to give Chilwell a rest, let him be fresh for Burnley. I think we should handle this game. You're dead spot on about the fans being back, so that Malmo will be hyped up probably this first 20, 30 minutes, just having fans back in the stadium. So maybe Asby's there to sort of be a calming force during that kind of chaotic time.
Yeah, for me, if you ask me about great explanation right there. If you ask me, I'd say it looks as if Tuchel's concern is more of the Malmo's attack from the flanks and not in the midfield, because Jorginho and Ruben Loftus-Cheek are not the best at protecting the defense. But anyway, we'll see what happens, because to me, on the right-hand side, I would have started Reece James. I think he would have done better in this game than Azpillicueta, but you never know. Tuchel understand the team better than we do, but let's see what happens. Coming to you, Xavi, what do you think about the lineup overall? Do you think they will get a result today, or would you have done anything differently?
One thing's for sure, I would not be playing Alonso. That's
everybody says that.
I just don't know why this guy is here, honestly speaking. But other than that, I mean, I'm not against Aspie, but Reece James is just so much more dynamic. But I can see the reason why he's putting Aspie in with Burnley in mind on the weekend. Rotation. We already are struggling with injuries, so why risk that again? Like, we were just trying to get through for the international break. Like Josh said, everybody knows me, knows RLC is my guy. I am interested to see how this pivot's going to work, because these are two different type of players. And Tuchel had Loftus-Cheek sitting before when he played, because normally he played with Kovacic and he allowed Kovacic to drive and stuff like that. But now that RLC's in, RLC is going to be the one who's driving. And we all know once he gets running, it's very hard to stop him. So that could be exciting. And the videos are here in the back line. So is it Silva, Christensen? Our pictures are covering that. Sorry, I can't see.
It's Rudiger, Silva, and Christensen.
Rudiger, sorry, let me take it up. Can you see it now?
Yeah, that's just a professional backline to make sure nothing happens. That's how strong his backline. So,
yeah. To me, my argument is we know these guys will most definitely attack today. It's not like they're going to sit back, because they need a win desperately. So why do we have to field? If you ask me, I'd say the midfield is okay for me, attacking wise. I like it. But on the flanks, we have Christensen and we have Azpillicueta. If we argue that we need to rest players, then why have Silva and Christensen on the pitch at the same time? And those are two of the guys that are capable of leading the back line comfortable for us. So if any of them gets injured here, then we have a problem. I don't know if I got my point across to you, Xavi. So to me, that's my argument right there.
Yeah, especially Silva. I guess international break is coming up, but he plays. It's not like he does not play for Brazil. So he plays. So he's gonna go to international break as well. I definitely don't think he's needed for a game like Malmo. I don't like. But the thing, then again, since we lost to Juventus, we can't drop no points. So I can see Tuchel saying, all right, this is a no-nonsense game. I'm coming here to get the job done. And but I never see a center back go up. Like, you know what I mean? So how's that gonna work?
Yeah, I mean, I guess he could have slid Christensen in the middle, and maybe if he wanted to play Azpi, played Azpi at right center back and let James play.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe we're really thin at wing back, so I could see where if you want to guard anybody from injury, Chilwell and Reece are two guys that you definitely want to keep. You want to keep those guys healthy because it's after that we're very thin at wing back. And I think he trusts Chalobah enough to maybe play Chalobah in the Burnley game at right center back and give Thiago a rest in that game.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows?
You mean in the middle of the
guys after shoot? It's nice being on.
Yo,
Sorry,
hold on
Josh, you mean in the middle of back three, right?
Real quick. What is with this red and white business here? What's going on here? The shirt color red and white? Come on, dog.
All right, Coach. Good catch there. So yeah, thank you. I've corrected that. So Josh, I know you meant playing Chalobah in the middle of the back three. Was that what you were saying, or because she said in place of Silva?
Yeah, no. So like for the weekend at Burnley, I think you could slide Christensen to the middle and play Chalobah at right center back if you wanted to give Silva a rest. So if he prioritized, this game over Burnley as far as Silva goes, you could always do that. I would trust Chalobah in the Burnley game to play back there, but who knows? Again, I almost have given up on picking teams with Tuchel. It's so hard to do. Every time you think he's going to rest somebody, he plays a best lineup. Whenever you think he's going to maybe play certain players, he'll play a backup. I mean, it's all over the place with him. But so far, he's been spot on, and he's tough to argue with. But yeah, I mean, for me, maybe I would have maybe made just a little bit of rotation in this game specifically. But knock on wood, we get it out to a big start, and then you can get some guys on like Pulisic and Saul, and get some guys some minutes in the second half.
Yeah, it's good to have those guys on the bench. Worst come to worst, I know he'll bring them on. And again, good point there. Good luck correctly predicting Tuchel's lineup. He never ceases to surprise us. So, yeah, coming to you, Couch Critic. Welcome to Chelsea Perspective again. Welcome back, so to speak. What do you think about the lineup overall? Do you think we'll have a good enough personnel on the pitch to get us points, or do you have any concerns?
No, that's basically it. I mean, Chilwell's been in great form, and you kind of figure that probably needed an opportunity to just see from the sidelines and regain his form for the weekend. But outside of that, that's pretty much as I saw it. We got to take this match seriously. As much as I saw lots of lineups with Sar in there and like Chalobah, granted, I think Chalobah could probably slot in easily, but I mean, we need 3 points. This is not just the match where we should be taking anything lightly. You know what I mean? No qualification is assured at this point, and Champions League is much more important than Burnley on the weekend. I'm just going to be honest. This is a short competition. We have to get as many points as we can, and we need a strong lineup. As much as I'm not surprised to see Azpi and Alonso, just because they will be able to give us good minutes. Yeah. But at the same time, this is about as strong as a lineup as you can put together, given the fact that we have a weekend fixture as well, as far as I'm concerned, at least. Probably means that Silva is not going to be rested on the weekend, though, in favor of Christensen, though, just because can't see him playing 2 matches a week anymore. He probably could, but I think the manager's kind of thinking he's a one match a week kind of guy now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand the argument right there, but I think your argument aligns with what we have, the comment we have on the screen right there. If that's the case, to me, if you ask me, I'd say the best attacking right wing back we have right now is Reece James. Mm-hmm. And it seems to me that Tuchel is somehow concerned about Malmo's attack from the left-hand side against our right side positions such as Azpillicueta and Christensen, because that's too defensive for me. Azpillicueta, while you can argue he does every now and then put in some good. He's good at putting in good crosses, but I think James provides more attacking threat than Azpi does. So Xavi, I know, is he gone already? It looks like Xavi is gone already. So I'm going to come back to you, Josh. What do you think? Don't you think James is a better option when we really need 3 points instead of Azpi?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think he's a better option. I don't know. Again, I think he's one guy in this game in particular. I totally get what you're saying, but he's one guy you can't get injured right now, because then you're basically stuck with Asby or moving Cho back to right wing back, which I think nobody is really in favor of. It's just a thin position, and he's by far our best right wing back. So, I mean, I get why he would rest him in this game. Again, Asby is capable of picking out a pass here and there off a cross.
I mean, he's our captain too. Like, let's not ignore the fact he's our captain. You know.
Yeah. And again, he hasn't played the last couple of games, so I wasn't shocked that he was in this game. You know, and I'm a little more comfortable with Alonso playing, considering Rudiger is behind him. If Sarr had been behind him, I think we saw that can be tough, because Alonso does tend to make it tough on that left-sided center back, at least once or twice in a game. So I have a little more confidence with Rudiger back in there. But yeah, Couch is right. I mean, nothing's locked up in the group yet, so 3 points here is big. You know, it's a strong lineup. I love our team as a whole. I think we always can put out a strong lineup. You know, especially with guys starting to come back, at least after international break, to full fitness. So, yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, Coach, about, you know, Asby and Christensen being very defensive. I don't remember. I mean, when we played Malmo the first time, it was a dominant performance. We had over 70% of the ball. We had 20 shots. I think like 8 or 9 on target.
But they had a few clear-cut chances. That game it could have been a worse result for us. We were just lucky, you could argue. But go ahead, Josh. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're spot on. I mean, that's football, right? I mean, sometimes the other team is going to have a chance or two, regardless. So I think that's probably why definitely Mendy he's the best keeper in the world right now. You got to let him keep rolling the way he's playing. You got to let him go. So yeah, hopefully that was maybe Tuchel's only concern, is that they have some sort of a left winger who can cause us some problems, and he wanted to lock that side down. Aside from that, yeah, I mean, Reece, you're right. Reece is the obvious guy if you're looking for attack there. So I don't really know what his mindset was, other than giving Asby some minutes and having his captain out there.
You got to think.
Yeah, great explanation right there. I'm gonna come to you soon with a question. Dennis, coming to you, Dylan. Looking at the front three, they were not that creative, except Cho was good, but Ziyech, he looked out of pace. It doesn't look like Ziyech we signed. So now without James in on the pitch, James, who made a difference for us on that day, what do you think? Where is the creativity going to come overall? Because it looks like they were out of ideas on that day. It was James that saved the day. So if we really want 3 points in this game, why leave James on the bench?
I think just overall, and this is going to touch on what Josh was talking about a little bit, but I think Tuchel thinks in this game that Malmo doesn't have anything to lose. They're going to be pushing guys forward and trying to get goals, and Chelsea need to be solidified at the back. So I think that's why he went with experience on the wing, on the right wing, and then in the back three. Rather, when you play against Burnley next week, we know what Burnley's going to do. Burnley's going to sit back, and you're going to need attacking guys like Chilwell and Reece to come in those games.
Facts.
Exactly. So, like, if you think about how he set up his team, Malmo doesn't, give a damn today. They've lost. They're out of the group, but they're going to need to get points still. So they're going to push guys forward. So you're going to need some solidity at the back, and then you're going to be able to counter them. Rather, Burnley's going to sit back, and you're going to need Reece and Chilwell to try and break down that back line. So I think maybe that was his overall thoughts when picking this team. Maybe looking more towards Burnley than, Malmo. I mean, you can get by with Malmo even if they're attacking you with a little bit of an experienced back line. But Burnley, you're going to need Reece. You're going to need Chilwell to be able to do that. But you were talking about Ziyech, and I just watch Ziyech and he just seems so disinterested. While he's taking, he hit the bar a couple times, I think, against Newcastle. He just really forces himself to get onto that left foot. And it's kind of frustrating from time to time that he can't use his right really at all, because he often gets caught out when he is trying to make that quick turn to his left, because people know, there's scouting reports. People know that he's trying to get to that left foot. And he just seems disinterested. So I think the writing's kind of on the wall with Ziyech. We're using him right now because of our injury crisis up top. It's up to him to put in some good performances, but I think his eyes are on the door out in the summertime. So, he doesn't really hide it very well, in my opinion. But in terms of creativity, I look for Callum to continue what he's doing, taking guys on and whatnot. I think Havertz will probably get on the score sheet today. I'm not too worried about the creativity. Yeah. I think the goals will come. And worst case scenario, the game goes on a little bit and you bring Pulisic in, and I'm sure he's eager to make an impact off the bench. I would like it to be in the game to be like 2 or 3-0 before he comes on, just so he doesn't necessarily go like he did with the United States against Honduras, where he's running into 4 guys trying to make it through and they're whacking at his ankle. But overall, I'm not too worried about creativity today. In the long term, maybe against Burnley, but that's why you bring in a Reece James and a Ben Chilwell, because you need that creativity on the outsides.
Yeah, I get your point. The panels seem to be all aligned against me, so I'm alone here arguing that. That I don't honestly. That leads to a question I have for you, Couch Dennis. If we really want to win, when do you play your best team? You play your best team when you want to win, and this game in the Champions League is important. So I don't understand.
I don't think that is denying the importance of this game and how much we need the 3 points. Exactly.
That's my point. That's when you play your best team, when you need the 3 points, because we lost to Juventus and we're not.
Go ahead. Performance out of these guys. Because keep in mind, we played Newcastle on Saturday. It's Saturday, Tuesday. So just in terms of fitness level, we do have to use the squad. And like if there's a match, as much as I agree that this is an important match, but there's a match where you can rotate a bit, it has to be this one. Because, like it's Malmo. I know we should, like the squad that we put out should be able to beat these guys. It's not like we have mugs on the pitch, Ziyech, you can say what you want. I thought he had a decent game against Newcastle, having not scored. I thought he was influential without having any real menace.
Impact,
impact is probably the better word, but he needs an opportunity to get his game going again as well and find a little bit of form. Like he's been in another lineup and with unfamiliar lineups for the most part too. Like he comes in and he plays with guys that he's probably never played with before. So this is an opportunity to use the guys that he's played with recently, the Callum and Havertz, and try and build some chemistry with them, right? Like I said, I as much as I agree, I think that it is important to acknowledge the fact that we have to start thinking about the squad as a whole. And we can't start ostracizing players just because they have 1 and 2 bad performances. It's going to get really busy really soon. And as we've already seen, we have a bunch of injuries. So now is the time to get behind the team. Alonso's obviously a great ball striker. He can get in the box, same as Chilwell, and provide us with that, that incredible ball striking ability. Azpillicueta is the leader. He knows what this game needs. So I expect him to have a good game as well. Maybe not to the effect of Reece James, but at the same time, he had other qualities that are useful in this side as well. So I'm optimistic. I'm looking forward to what we have on the pitch right now. I want to see Pulisic get at least 20 minutes, and I think that this game will provide him with that. And I want to.
Don't you think that would be too soon for him? Because I'd argue that the reason he's in the squad in the first place at this point is just because we're kind of short of personnel at this point due to injuries.
You're probably right. But at the same time, like Tuchel did say he's in the match squad yesterday when asked. So it wasn't like, we'll have to see. It was like, he's in the match squad. He's there. And if he can't get 20 minutes, and keep in mind, I agree, because we do have 2 goalkeepers on our bench right now, which is crazy. I don't know why they can just appoint one of the young guys, youth players. But anyways, regardless, I think Pulisic can give us 20 minutes today. If not now, then when, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's on the bench, which to me means he's fit to play. I don't think they would rush. They clearly haven't tried to rush him back since his injury. I would look, as far as attack goes, Coach, I honestly would look for Ruben to be a big driving force in the attack today. We've seen he's a train when he gets going. I mean, there's not a lot of guys who are going to stop him without taking him out. When he gets driving on the ball, the three guys in attack are really going to be salivating because he's going to be able to drive the ball very deep, look for shots for himself. I mean, you saw Reece's, I think his second goal from Newcastle was off of a Loftus rebound off of a shot. Mm-hmm. I think he's going to be a big driving force in the attack today, at least in the fact of getting the ball deep into the final third. And then it'll be on guys like Callum and Ziyech to either pick a ball out or make a run. Havertz, I expect Havertz to be all over the pitch today. So I totally get your concern with the right-sided attack. Reece is by far our best attacking wingback with Chilwell. But I think you'll probably see the attack come from different parts of the field today in this game, as opposed from where it's been the last few weeks, coming from the wing backs. You'll probably see it more through the middle today, if I had to guess.
Yeah, that application is good to watch. Good point right there. Seeing them join the midfield, even in the attacking area, they drift towards the middle of the pitch, and that gets our oppositions confused. So good point right there, Josh, and thank you for highlighting that. Before we talk about the structure of the midfield and how they operate, I have a question for us all here. We've all been concerned about Ziyech's lack of consistency and some other players in the squad. Now, we understand the importance of rotating the squad. It's good because these guys are humans. If you don't rest them, they get tired after all, or burn out, because they're humans, they're not machines after all. So now the question, I'll start from you, Josh, since we are where with you at this point, is rotation one of the reasons why these new signings, they're not new signings anymore. Is it plausible to say that rotation is one of the reasons why they've not gelled together? Because they're really good players. Ziyech, we know how good he can be on a good day. But he's not been that consistent. We've come to realize, okay, they joined at a very bad period, the pandemic and all that. They were away from their families, weren't able to spend time with them, and that's another factor. But let's talk about rotation. Do you think it's an issue?
I don't know that rotation per se is what's been guys like Ziyech's biggest issue. I honestly just think he struggles with the league and the speed and pace of the league. To me, if you watch Ziyech when he's at his best, when he was at Ajax and things like that, a lot of the stuff he does is in buckets of space. I mean, lots of space. To be able to cut back on your left foot and have time to take a shot or pick a pass out, you're just not afforded that in England. And unfortunately, I think that's affected him a bit. He had the nice run in preseason, which was good for him. But at the end of the day, it's still preseason. The injury, I'm sure the injury has affected him a bit. Yeah, I think Tuchel's mentioned it. But yeah, for me, it's just not. It's more of a fit thing with Ziyech, as far as the league just being a bit too physical, maybe a bit too quick for his strong suits. You've seen when he has space, he's able to do, really good things with the ball, but I just don't know that that's afforded to him on a consistent basis in the Premier League. As far as the other guys go, with Lukaku, I think it's kind of a mixture of how we're using him and also his getting used to his teammates. I have a lot of faith in Lukaku. I like Romelu Lukaku quite a bit. It's just one of those things. I think it's just taking him a little bit of time for us as a team to adapt to the way he plays, and then for him a little bit to adapt to the guys around him. That has been a bit inconsistent with the guys he's played with. He's played with Werner a bit. He's played with Havertz a bit. He's played with Mount a bit, and quite haven't figured out a combination yet. I think when Pulisic is fully healthy, I think our best attack will probably be like Pulisic, Lukaku, and Havertz, or Pulisic, Lukaku, and Mount, depending on who's in form at the time. but we do need somebody who can take on players and like that Pulisic provides. So we'll get firing. I think. I mean, it's still early in the season. We're scoring goals, via the wing backs right now, but we're still scoring goals. I think you'll see that frontline attack start to fire here in the new year once everybody starts to get back and get healthy. But yeah, I mean, that's just what I've seen when I've watched them play. Is just a bit of inconsistency with who they're playing with and comfortability with who's on the pitch with them at the time. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, great point right there. And Josh, and your choice of Christian Pulisic, you're not biased at all. You're not just picking your fellow American because.
No.
Okay, I'm not biased too. I'll come to you, Dylan, because it was Dennis that highlighted this point of how players playing with different players in different games has affected their performance. So, Dennis, coming to you, what do you think? Do you think rotation is one of the reasons why these guys aren't gelling as they should? You can say they don't have a good enough chemistry like they should at this point.
Well, I'm sure it's a lot of that. I think it has to do with, chemistry. Some of these guys are used to playing like Ziyech is used to playing game in, game out, and sometimes you need a run of games like that in order to, just find your footing in the league and whatnot. And like the Premier League's just relentless. It doesn't allow for you to just take days off and whatnot, and climatize, right? So I think that is part of it. But also, I think with Ziyech in particular, maybe not with the rest of the guys, but he doesn't have a position right now. We don't play with wingers. He's an out-and-out winger,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. At the beginning of the year last year, he was putting in incredible performances, and then as soon as he got injured and then came back, we played the 3-4-3. He couldn't really find himself in the squad. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact of how he plays football. He's not really a pacey guy. He's not really a guy that's a dribbler. And that's what you need in that sort of like inside forward role. You need somebody that can do those things. And for him, he likes to be out in the wing and deliver crosses in, traditional winger, like swing it on his left and get it in the box, cut in and hit it. But I just think under Tuchel now, his role's gone. So it's very difficult for him to now find, his footing within this particular side. And maybe he doesn't have the physicality for it. Let's just be honest. But I mean, every day is a new opportunity for him to redefine his game. Maybe it starts today with Malmo, and we move on from there. But aside from that, I just think that we need to give the squad some time. Like, we're first place in the Prem. We're scoring a boatload of goals from all over the pitch. Guys like Lukaku, when he comes back, Werner, when he comes back, the pressure is going to be taken off of them because we are finding goals elsewhere. So once they get to the position where they're a little bit more relaxed, their goals are going to come too. So, I mean, I'm not worried about it, man. I'm feeling really good about the squad right now. I think that we have a lot of depth, and I think that we have a lot of room to grow, even within the depth that we have. So just give some time, guys. But Coach, I gotta bounce.
Yes, I saw your message, and thank you very much for stopping by. I appreciate that.
Say hi though to all you guys. Dylan, what's up?
What's going on?
You already know.
What's up, Dennis?
Yeah, but let's just get the 3 points today, man. Vital, man.
Sure.
Vital,
Sure.
All right,
so
I'm
coming to you, Dennis. Thank you very much again for stopping by. Coming to you, Dylan. What do you think? Rotation has been an issue for these players. Like I said, they're no longer new signings. Most of them have been here for almost a year right now. So what do you think?
I think it's a long season. When you play as many games as we do, rotation is just something that just needs to happen. When you have a squad as big as we do, it just has to happen because you have to manage players' expectations as well. And then you couple in the injuries that we've had, and it's sort of been almost needed. So people have to be thrusted into roles that they're not totally comfortable with necessarily. It's worked out for a couple people. It's worked out for Ruben. Ruben's came in and he said, you know what? People are injured. I'm ready to come in. I've had something to prove for a while now, and it's worked out for him. And now look at him. Now people are saying, well, he should be starting game. He's one of our top midfielders. And I tend to agree with him at some points. There's games that work for him and there's games that don't necessarily work for him where you need Kante and Jorginho or you need Kante and Kovacic, for example. But Ruben's giving Kova a run for his money, and he's definitely put Saul back. And then you look at Cho, and the left wing has been a spot where he's been dying to get position in. Tuchel said, we're going to play you at right wing back. This is how you're going to get minutes from right now. He went in, he did his job. But now at left wing, we're seeing what we've all been waiting to see for him. He seems like revitalized, focused, and prepared to say, hey, this is my shot. I got to take it, or, not or else, but you know what I'm saying there. And then,
great point right there. Josh, I know you got to leave in a bit. Josh, what do you think about the pairing in the midfield? How do you think they're going to operate?
I think they're going to be very successful in this game. I'll be honest. I think it's a really, really strong combination of possession with Jorginho and driving ability with Ruben. Similar to the mold of George and Kovacic, but I think Ruben is just a more physical body than Kovacic, and I think that's spot on. Ruben has put Kovacic into another level right now, because it's either a step up or your minutes will be gone. And I think it's been great for the team. They both have played fantastic. We've seen Ruben. And Steve's right. I think Saul has been better in every game that he's played from the beginning of the season. I think each game he's gotten better. And again, I think part of that is because of Ruben. Like Ruben is really, I think Ruben and Ross, respect to both those guys, because they were guys nobody was talking about going into the season, and they both have really taken opportunities, and when they've gotten minutes, have really showed out. And I think those two guys have pushed some of these other guys to step their games up, because they realize, hey, Tuchel's not a guy who's just going to play me off merit. Like, he's going to play the person who's playing the best football. And right now, it's been George, Kova, and Loftus have been the three guys in the midfield playing the best football. So I think you'll see a really nice mixture of the two of them today. And I'm excited to see it. I think we got a little taste of it in the second half of Newcastle. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I don't think Malmo are going to press us as much. So I don't know if George is going to be under as much fire as he would be in a game like this. But I expect him to get the ball to Ruben quick and let Ruben go, and then guys will just mix and match up front and find the player to get the ball in the back of the net. But I'm excited about it, Coach.
Yeah, thank you very much, Josh. I'm excited too. Just my concern is just the right-hand side of the pitch. But that's, by the way, just thank you again for finding the time to be with us here. I will make sure to leave your complete information in the description section whenever I upload the video. Thank you again. It's just Dylan and I now, because Josh has somewhere that he needs to be. So thank you, Josh. I appreciate your presence, brother.
Yeah, Coach, appreciate you having me on, man. Anytime, you just let me know. And it was Dylan. It was nice to meet you too, brother. You guys enjoyed the game.
Absolutely.
Thank you, brother. So, Dylan, coming back to you. Mm-hmm. Do you still have the lineup? Let me share it again. So if we look at the lineup, the midfield. I know you can you say the midfield right now?
Sure.
So the pairing of Jorginho and Ruben Loftus-Cheek, how do you think they will operate? Who does what and who doesn't do the other? Who sits back and who goes forward a bit more?
I think it's going to be a little bit of both, to be honest with you. I think that they both have qualities defensively and moving forward that you're going to like to see. Ruben is that kind of hybrid. I've always said this, that especially this season, that Ruben is kind of a hybrid of all of our midfielders. He does a little bit of everything really well. He gets forward sort of like that Kovacic can. He's not pretty good at ball retention like Kante is, and he can pass it around like Jorginho. So I think that it's an interesting pairing, but I think it's going to be a lot of pressure on both Jorginho and RLC to get to win the ball back. So I'm not sure it's necessarily one person does the other. I think they're going to work really good in a tandem together. I'm interested to see how these two work. I think I think it was Josh said, we saw them for a little bit. I think it was against Newcastle, and I think we've seen them a little bit before in a different game. But I think this could be a really good pairing for us, especially if Ruben is able to push the ball forward and be decisive in that final third, because I think that's what we've kind of missed as a midfielder. We know that Kante can push forward and Kovacic can push forward, but they lack that final ball. And we've already seen Ruben this year, against Newcastle. He was able to get an assist, and it was, Norwich. He was able to get an assist on the Mount goal, but it was really impressive to see. So if Ruben can be that guy, man, I think it just makes our offense even a little bit more spectacular.
Yeah, I think you're correct. The pairing there, Jorginho, given his ability to control the tempo of the game and being a defined regista, that I think he will be the one to sit back and then have the space to like control the tempo of the game, dictate the pace of the game, while Ruben Loftus-Cheek, with his ability to drive forward with the ball, will be the one to be forward more often than Jorginho. So I've seen some great questions, some great inputs in the chat, and we'll look at them soon. We still have a few minutes here. We need to round up before the game starts, and I'll give Dylan an opportunity also to let you guys know about he has a giveaway of signed Mason Mount picture. So looking at the front three, Dylan, we have Cho, Ziyech, and Havertz. How do you think those three will operate? Because if you ask me, first, before I let you come in on that, if you ask me, I'd argue that we seem to have a more fluid attack in the absence of Romelu Lukaku, which highlights the fact that he's changed the way we play. What's your input on that?
I think Romelu Lukaku just demands it. I think he is such a proven entity that he demands attention from 2 to 3 center backs at any given time. So when you play against teams like Chelsea do often that are going to play a low block, anytime you try to give Lukaku the ball to his feet, you're going to see 2 or 3 center backs come at him right away. While Havertz's movement has been something that I've been really impressed with, and I think has kind of excelled that fluidity in the front three. Havertz's ability to come to the midfield and get the ball, link up play, and eventually make a darting run to the front of the goal. I think that's been crucial. And I just wonder why Tuchel has not kind of operated that way against Lukaku. He's more used him as a target man, while Lukaku's a footballer. He can dribble, he can pass, he can do it all. So moving Lukaku around the field, dropping him back into midfield, like we saw against Arsenal, to be honest with you. And we know that Arsenal's defense was a little shambolic at that time and their spacing wasn't very good, but Lukaku came almost in between the halfway line and the box to receive that ball on his goal he scored. And then it took the wing back, Reece James diving in to do that. So moving Lukaku around is going to be crucial, but you can do the same thing with Havertz, and they've done that. Havertz has been able to, leave out the box and be fluid, and that's what leads to the fluidity. If you're structured, you're looking for a target man, you're going to have a tough time. It's just if you did that with Havertz, but that's how it would end up as well.
Yeah, I understand Lukaku's ability to cause problems for opposition defenders. But looking at how many goals were scored in his absence, I'm not saying I'm not in any way applying that he's a bad player. Mm-hmm. I'm just highlighting the fact that he's changed the way we play. And they say numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. Look at how many goals were scored in his absence when we don't have a defined number 9, or let me say an out-and-out number 9. Our attack has been more fluid. We've scored more goals. We've created more chances. Mm-hmm. It seems as though we don't really need a number 9, but that's a bad argument. You must say, as in some cases, there's some instances where a defined number 9 makes a difference, which was what we lacked last season. Mm-hmm. But Dylan, are you saying you prefer to have a defined number 9 on the pitch rather than have a fluid attack?
I think to win the Premier League title, you're going to need a defined number 9. I think that there's going to be games throughout the season where you're going to need a Romelu Lukaku to pull a rabbit out of the hat with his finishing ability. And basically, I think he is the key to unlock it. But Tuchel's got to be able to put him in the right position. It's not necessarily that. And I agree with you. The numbers would suggest, wow, we have been a lot more decisive and created a lot more chances without that number 9. But also, you got to think last year we played without a number 9.
But last year we created more chances, just that we didn't put away the chances.
Sure. And I agree with you 100%. I just think that having Lukaku as an option in some games is going to be important because you're going to need him in some games. And also, he really hasn't had a great stretch of games where, with the same people around him, it's been a lot of chopping and changing. And not saying that he shouldn't be able to produce with everybody, but you're moving to a new club, moving to a new city, moving to a different league. He's familiar with the league, don't get me wrong, but I think that it might take a little bit of time. And then the injury happens. I think one of the biggest benefits is if he is going to be ready to start training soon, he's not going to be on international duty with Belgium. So he's going to be able to get time at Cobham with Tuchel, and he's going to be able to talk to him. He's going to be able to discuss, hey, you got to start using me in a different way because it's just not working. And there's no way that you don't use your club record signing. You know what I mean? It's just, you can't get away from that. And I think it's just up to Tuchel to figure out how to do that. You know what I'm saying? I guess it's just kind of like, I'm not too worried at this point, but if we are, going to be worried, I would say it just needs some time. And I think Tuchel needs to really focus on, we can't use this guy for what his body is. We have to use this guy for what his finishing ability is, and that he's a footballer.
Yeah, a great point right there. Maybe we'll just wait until when he comes back, and if things starts going south, then it's clear to all of us that he creates more problem than he solved for us. Then we must rethink how we use him. Again, if we argue that we should change the way we play to accommodate him, and that means he is changing the way we play, which wasn't the reason why we brought him in. We brought him in to help us put away chances. So changing the way we play creates more problem than the signing of Lukaku must have, we believe, will suffer us. So that's, by the way, Dylan, can you take some time again and tell the people in the chat about the giveaway, the autographed Mason Mount picture before we round up?
Yeah, I just want to touch one real quick thing about Lukaku, just finish up. He hasn't played with a Pulisic or a Hudson-Odoi yet, very, very much. And I think that's going to be crucial for our attack, is to have someone that's going to be able to take on defenders and force that defense to kind of shift a little bit. Once you could see him with a Hudson-Odoi at left wing or a Pulisic at left wing that's eager to take people on, I think you may see parts of that offense open up a little bit more for Lukaku, and you'll be able to see him with a little bit more space. But yeah, that was the only thing I wanted to touch on. Yes, I am giving away an autographed Mason Mount photo here. This is the first year that he was up with Chelsea. I believe it's against Norwich. And Tammy Abraham's in it. So it's an awesome photograph. It's actually pretty big. I'm giving it away on my Twitter. If you go to my Twitter at CFCDP1, you will see a tweet there. It's basically retweet. Please follow my Twitch channel as well. And that's how you can get in, into it, and you can get a chance to win, shipping included, nothing, no strings attached. Basically, it's an awesome photo. So yeah, thanks. I appreciate you letting me get a chance to promote.
Yeah, I think I will put out a tweet about it. I'll also share with my own followers so they can be part of it and get a chance to, be the winner of the autographed Mason Mount picture. So Dylan, again, take some time. Please tell them about your channel and not just, the giveaway. We need to know about your channel because you know your stuff.
Yeah, so I just started this channel actually this season. I have a degree in broadcasting. I did a lot of stuff with the Milwaukee Bucks previously, and I love Chelsea. I've loved Chelsea.
You have a degree in broadcasting.
Yep, I have a degree in broadcasting. I've done stuff with Fox Sports before, ESPN and whatnot. So I have all these skills and whatnot, and I love Chelsea more than anything. So I'm like, you know what? Let's start a channel. It's CFCDP on YouTube. We had some awesome guests. We've had Carefree Youth on, Brittany Zimmerman, Patrick Larson, Jonathan Mann. So we're hoping to get a lot more guests on, just talk, kind of create an open forum about Chelsea, match reviews, match previews, kind of news in general. as well. And, I'm going to be starting to do some more live streaming things as I'm trying to promote my Twitch channel for FIFA. I'm actually today going to be doing live streaming during the Champions League games, kind of watching and reacting to what's going on. So if you are looking for something to do during the games to watch along with, feel free to stop by CFC DP on Twitch as well.
Okay, all right. We still have a few minutes that's about 5 minutes or so to round off. So, but before we round off, I'd like to say welcome to the channel to Bobby Fairview. You've been very, very active, and to every other person in the chat, my great friend, Almighty Blue CFC, who also has a channel, great content. He releases content on daily basis. I love them all. He's actually outrun me in terms of his production of content that I'm not able to watch all of them. Dylan also produces great content, like he's explained. He's always brought on some great guests, such as Patrick Lassen, Libby. I think a few of them I don't remember their names, but I always find time to watch their content. And Dylan is a great guy, great perspective, doesn't hold back, says it objectively as it is. So please, if you're in the chat, Steve Chelsea, also Just Viola, thank you very much for finding some time to participate. Please, if you haven't, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And also help tell every other person you know that loves Chelsea that there's always a pre-game show before every Chelsea game on Chelsea Perspective. And we do giveaways on select days or on select days. So probably the next one will do the first giveaway for the month of November. So Just Viola, thank you very much again. So now coming back to you, Dylan, what are your expectations for this game? Do you think it will be an open game, or do you think it will be dodgy kind of or a tactical mind game? What do you think?
I think that Malmo is going to be poised to kind of give it their all. I don't think that they have anything to lose at this point. They're going to need points regardless. Having dropped points to Zenit, I think that they're saying, well, if third place gets in a Europa League spot. So if they can go ahead and get on the front foot early, I think they're going to try and do that. I think it's up to Chelsea to weather the storm at the beginning. First game back with fans in Sweden today. So they're going to be poised to try and put on a performance for those people. And I'm sure it's going to be a raucous atmosphere. But overall, I think Chelsea's quality will rise to the top. I think there'll be some early counterattack opportunities, and it'll be up to Havertz, Cho, Ziyech to finish them. And if they can do that and get their early goals, I think that that's going to be fine. I probably predict about 2-3-0. Potentially that Chelsea could give up a goal at some point during the game. It's possible, but I think it should be rather comfortable for Chelsea, but it'll be more important for them to get an early goal to kind of weather the storm.
Yes, I do agree with you. I think for me, I don't think Malmo will sit back because they need a win. Yeah, like you said, they'd like to at least please their fans because they are home, and I think they haven't won a single game in the group. They've lost all the games that they've played, so this is a chance for them to prove to at least do something nice for their fans. So I do believe they will come out to attack us, and that makes a difference. That will give us a chance to maybe find spaces that we need to operate effectively. So what do you think? Did you say again? The score line will
I'll go 3-0.
3-0. Okay, if you get it correctly, you know what happens. So no need to say it again. You and I know. So if the score line is correct, you just reach out to me and say you got it correctly, and we'll take it from there. So again, Dylan, it's been an absolute pleasure bringing you back on Chelsea Perspective to discuss the lineup. And this is a constant thing. It happens before and ends. It starts before and ends before every Chelsea game, and it starts an hour before every Chelsea game. So please tell everybody you know that loves Chelsea, and also let us know how we can make the show better for you so that it is more enjoyable to you. And please make sure to go check out CFC DP, which is Dylan's YouTube channel, and also Almighty Blues FC channel. These guys have great content. Also, we had Just CFC. We had Couch Critic YouTube channel. Go check them all out. But I will make sure to leave their complete information in the comment section so that you can go check them out. Yes, enjoy the game. Come on, you Blues. Thank you very much. And Steve Chelsea, thank you, everybody in the chat. See you guys next time. Cheers.